Shalom, I'm your brother Uremia from the branch of GMS, South Carolina Midlands. And before we start off, all praise, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. And Shalom unto you hopeful elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say, Shalom. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right. That's the sentiment, all right, the mindset of the hopeful elect. All right, just as King David prayed unto the Lord to deliver his soul from the wicked, which who's the wicked? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom. Okay, starting with the wicked elite. All right, the powers that be that control this world right now. Okay, who has power to kill. All right, we're praying to Yahweh Shemel Shai to deliver us from this devil. All right, because we see this devil coming down with that great wrath, man, as it reads in Revelation 12 and 12. Donald J. Trump and his administration, coming after Jacob, Israel. All right, you so-called black, so-called Spanish, so-called Native Americans of today, man. Okay, starting with the Northern Kingdom, all right? And we see now transitioning to the Southern Kingdom as elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers of Great Millstone have been going into, man. You are in the time of Jacob trouble, man. Okay, and this is only the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. We know that this devil, he's about to come, full press. All right, he's about to come heavy with that persecution and that wrath. Okay, and what is he doing? What is he doing as he always been doing throughout the course of history? All right, always accusing his brethren. All right, always labeling Jake as the problem. All right, about to label Jake as the face of terror. Okay, this devil is about to paint all Israel with a broad brush, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans of today as the problem of everything that's about to transpire. All right, when it comes to the collapse of Babylon the Great, America. All right, when it comes to TERROR, all right, in the streets. Okay, Jake is about to be labeled the villain by Esau, Edom. All right, it's about to be plastered all over the news. All right, these different medias. Okay, and it's going to justify this devil, in coming after us, man. Okay, we believe through the spirit of this devil, of course, him being the devil, the deceiver. Okay, or Diablos, all right, the false accuser, the slanderer. He's going to have false flags in his back pocket, all right, in order for him to blame it on Jake. Look at all these different, anti-Sim, hate crimes, against these imposters, these small hatters. And look at the evidence that they got on, these wicked-ass Jakes, man. These stupid-ass Jakes. And more than likely, these niggas probably paid off, man, so that they can have that narrative, man, okay, of hate crime, that these people are just so oppressed, all right, so hated, all right, when all the while the true Israelites, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we are the true, biblical Hebrew Israelites, the people of the Lord, and we're the people that's being hated, okay? But this devil has spun the narrative. He's spinning the narrative, all right? The villain is playing the victim, okay? And he's pointing the finger at Jake, man. He's about to point the finger at us. So let me read this, okay? Because I got a couple articles, I want to get into, at least one article and a video I want to get into, and look at this picture right here. Esau gonna use evidence such as this. All right, you Carnalites out there, Hebrew Israelites who You know, go out there with your t-shirt and your fringes, all right, with your fitted caps on, your hats on, your hoods on, okay, with sticks at camp, all right, or taking pictures and making videos, going to the range with your fringes on. You know, Esau's going to use all that type of evidence. That's why we believe a lot of these niggas is sold out, okay, and not just sold out. A lot of these niggas just straight up dumb, stupid, sawdust children, like the Lord said, man. Okay, but Esau gonna use evidence like this, man. These stupid ass Israelites, man. Okay, and lump us up with, you know, them YNs. All right, you know, they don't look no different than them damn YNs terrorizing the streets out there. Okay, and yes, Trump about to crack down not just on so-called immigrants. All right, not just Northern Kingdom. He coming after you Negroes as well, man. Negro tribes as well. Okay, you YNs. When he said "Make America Great Again," I don't mean, you know, prosperity or good news for you, for Jacob, for Israel. All right, he ultimately mean, you know, because America was never great for Israel. All right, we constantly been oppressed, constantly been under captivity. All right, our blood has constantly been shed by Esau, Edom. All right. But what he mean by make America great again is chain you niggas up, okay? Have you in the servitude, no rights, all right? No liberty to move around freely. Do what he say, okay? Total control. And that's his new world order agenda. As we all know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, 2 Corinthians 2:11, okay? So, all right, let me get into these scriptures, man, okay? It's Revelation 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and the power of his Hamashiach, his anointed, being the elect, the first fruits of salvation, the ones who will be saved, be joint heirs with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai upon his return, his deliverance of the elect. All right, it says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. Now, who's the accuser of our brethren? The so-called white man. All right, always labeling Jake as, you know, if there's a problem in any type of way, always labeling Jake as the reason of the problem. All right, you look at, for example, you look at the time of the 2020, you know, that pestilence that swept the world, you know, who was the main ones affected according to Esau Edom's pseudoscience? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. We think that you should take the juicy juice first, all right, because you're most likely affected by this pestilence. You see the accuser of our brethren, okay? You know, when it comes to crime, all right, always labeling Jake. And don't get me wrong, you got 2/3 wicked niggas, these YNs, these niggas out here who are a menace to society. They do need to be locked up. A lot of these niggas need to be deleted, detained, okay? And they feeling the wrath of the Lord, all right? But when you think about true crime, you know, going on a tear, mass TERROR, is, you know, ism, you know, it's the so-called white man, Esau Edom. He's the one out here, you know, spraying up schools, spraying up public outings, okay? You know, when he decides that, when he goes off the hinge or he faces any type of adversity, he want to take others with him, including himself and the dog and everything. He's the true terror, okay? He went around the world so-called colonizing everything, taking everything. By what? Rape, robbery, and murder. All right? As Yahweh Shai said, pertaining unto this devil, Esau Edom. This is St. John, chapter 10 and verse 10. And it says, the thief, okay? Who's the thief? Esau. He's the biggest robber on this planet Earth. He stole the whole landmass of America. He stole the identity of the true Israelites, of us being the people of the Lord. He stole he put his face up as the image of the Heavenly Father and the Son and the Israelites and the angels. He's the biggest thief, culture vulture on this earth. The thief cometh not but to steal. Steal, man. All right? And that's why, what's that? Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemy. So like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay? This devil always going to be perpetually wicked and he cannot be trusted. He going to show you that he is the devil every time. He always got that knife behind his back, man. Hiding his hand behind his back with that knife. Okay? Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, which your primary enemy is the so-called white man. He is the wicked. He is the devil. He is the terror in the earth, man. It says, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself. So when he, pretend like he want to help you, right? Okay, pretend like he your friend. He your buddy. All right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, because he can't be trusted, man. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether been wiped away. So you're going to see them horns. All right? It reads on. Set him not by thee, least when he have overthrown thee. That's his whole MO, to overthrow Israel. All right? When he say anything in regards to, you benefiting, all right? You coming up, best believe there's an MO. There's a bigger agenda behind it. All right? Them juicy juices was free. You better believe that devil was trying to take us out. And he took a lot of Israelites out who trusted in him. And he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Ask Gad. You see what happened to Gad? When he made all them treaties, all right, with the North American Indians, okay, our brothers of Gad, of the tribe, the nation of Israel, the tribe of Gad, all right, Reuben. You see what he did to our brothers? You see how he took the whole landmass? Okay, you see all them treaties he broke? You see why he can't be trusted? You see why we don't trust this devil to this day? Because he still is perpetually wicked. He's still shedding the blood of Israel. He's still oppressing our people. All right. Psalms 51. What is that? Psalms 51. Is that Psalms 51? Let me see. Salakia. Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth, being Esau, the so-called white man, were smoother than butter, right? Yeah, we think you so-called Negroes, Latinos need to go first and take the juicy juice pack. This is, us helping you, us making up for what we did in the past. Man, this devil is the devil, man. Okay? A lot of people still dropping, being deleted by the juice pack. All right? That serpent's poison that they done took inside their system, man, in their body. And if they'd have kept the law and they'd have had wise counsel, Yahweh Shema Shai, by the elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and took heed of it, all right, you would have known through the law you ain't supposed to get no prickings, all right, in your skin. You're supposed to be taking no needles underneath the skin. And you definitely ain't supposed to be trusting no devil and his pseudoscience, all right? That false science, man. Okay? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Do we not understand that, going back to Genesis, the 27th chapter, that Esau, hated his brother Jacob because of the blessing? The blessing that's coming to us, the kingdom of heaven, us being the Lord's chosen people, the people who the Lord's going to save with an everlasting salvation. Okay? He had a perpetual hatred. Going back to Ezekiel 35:5, and shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Okay? And now what? Yahweh Shemel Shah preparing these devils unto blood because he ain't hate blood. He always shed the blood of the children of Israel, and he will continue to do so. Alright? Hence why, we read Psalms 17:13. Deliver my soul from the, arise, O Lord, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is, disappoint him. Okay? Arise, O Lord, cast him down, disappoint him, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. I want to make sure I got that right. Psalm 17:13, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Yeah. All right. Hence why we open up with that, man, because his devil, he is getting, troops is in the streets. ICE agents is in the streets. He coming from him, her, them, they, children, elderly, okay, Hispanic, Native American, Negro. He coming for Jacob, man. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So that this devil always had war against Israel. Okay? War against Israel, and it ain't gonna stop, man. Alright? It ain't gonna stop. Back in Revelation chapter 12, and we was reading verse 10. It says, Salakia. Is that Revelation 12:10? Oh, yeah, Salak was in the blue letter. Revelation 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, come, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, who accused them before our power day and night. This devil always constantly going to the Father, man. You know, just saying, look at your people. Look at how destroyed they are. Look at the wickedness that they're doing, man. Okay, look at how they eating that pork. Look at how they drilling, they killing one another, man. Look at how, they committing adultery. Meanwhile, he controls the airways and the music that pushes that vibration out there, that deaf culture out there. He controls the movies, the medias, the shows that pushes that vibration out there. He pays Jakes to be wicked, man, out here, man, to push that, agenda on people, man. Okay? The accuser of our brethren, man. He's going to be cast down, man. And right now this devil is being exposed, and he's about to lose his power, man, in the earth. He's about to lose the kingdom. He's about to lose power in the earth, man. Okay? Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him. We're going to overcome this devil by the blood of the Lamb. Who's that? Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice. You see, this devil ain't take it into account. You can buy out. You can buy a nigga cheap, like the old apostles say. Okay? And you can buy a nigga cheap, but he ain't take into account that the Lord had a remnant, an elect that wouldn't sell out. All right? That will only serve Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right? Be faithful unto the Lord unto death. All right? And it says, and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death. You see, we don't love this life, man. We don't love this world, man. This world got to be destroyed. We know that. We know that there's greater coming. All right? The kingdom of heaven, everything, man. We about to receive everything, including you, devil. You about to be a servant, a slave. Okay? And then after your 1,000 years of captivity, all right, you're going to be serving 1,000 years of captivity, these other heathen nations as well. All right, but after your 1,000 years is up, the heathen going to go into their lands that, that's departed unto them. All right. And, you devils going to be eradicated according to Obadiah 1:18. No more remaining of the house of Esau, man. It's a wrap. It's a done data, man. It's a done deal. Verse 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Woe meaning destruction. For the devil, Diabolos, the false accuser, the slanderer, the so-called white man, All right, the deceiver. All right, like I said, he's about to paint a broad brush of Israel as the face of terror. And why do I say that? Because this article right here popped up, man. It says here, in a high-speed chase, and you can obviously it's a Jake, or perceived to the eyeball, okay, as a Jake with them Shiva Jatas, the wicked ass Shiva Jatas, man, them dreadlocks. Alright, know this nigga on demon time, okay? It says high-speed chase across Carolinas end with seizure of weapon of mass destruction, deputies say. So what the hell Jake doing with weapons of mass destruction? Okay? You know, why does a so-called Negro and weapon of mass destruction be in the same sentence? Because this devil is about to paint Jake as the face of terror, as hate crime, you know, as anti-Sim is about to be labeled upon Jake. You so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native Americans, and he mainly wants to put that stigma on the prophets of the Lord. All right? He wants to stop the truth of us proclaiming our heritage, all right, standing up boldly in the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, proclaiming this truth, exposing this devil. He wants to stop it. And eventually, you know, this word being pushed on the internet, us being on the highways and the byways through prophecy, Amos 8 and 11, through 12, it will eventually stop. But that's through the will of Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's, you know, because Yahweh Shema Shai, elect, is going to be sealed. Okay, at that point. All right. And it says a South Carolina man is facing multiple serious charges after alleged leading deputies on a high-speed chase across state lines, attempting to ram police cars and being found with a weapon of mass destruction and illegal drugs. Okay. Now, you see, I read a little bit into it, and they won't get into what the weapon of mass destruction was. So it could have been grenade, RPG, bomb, you know, whatever Jake got his hands on, man. Okay. You know, it could be anything of that nature, man. All right. And this is going to be a part of the ammunition, a part of the fuel that the devil is going to use in his smear campaign, his demonization that he's going to put on Jake. All right. Along with this Hebrew Israelite thing of ours, pushing this truth. All right. Being servants to Yahweh by Shema Shai. He's about to paint us with a broad brush, man. Okay. That's why we need the Lord to deliver our soul from the wicked, which is his sword, the left-hand side. Because you see this right here? This devil, you got them troops in the streets.
Local officials demanding answers after federal agents and troops gathered at a park for what appeared to be an immigration-related operation, but the mayor claims the only thing interrupted was a children's summer camp. ABC's Christian Cordero has details. Christian, good morning.
So you got Esau with them troops, them Humvees, the military equipment, trucks. Okay, you got ICE out there, you know, and with Trump's big beautiful bill, he got more funding to fund ICE, to set up, you know, more detention centers. Man, it's coming. The persecution is coming. All right, we know that the MOTB is around the corner. The new form of buying and selling. He's ready to collapse the dollar. He's ready to come with his new world order, okay? And that order that he's trying to bring is going to come with chaos. And Jake, Israel, we're about to be labeled the face of terror, man. All right? But guess what? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is with us. All right? Though he about to come in like that flood, all right? Like the scriptures say, Isaiah 59 and 19. And so it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. And that's when Esau, starting with the wicked elite, comes with them troops. All right, these you know, military troops, these police force, ICE detainees, then they come in. All right, it says like a flood. The spirit of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai shall lift up a standard against him. All right, and that standard, all right, is going to be the miracles, that power, all right, the angels of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the protection, the hedge, all right, that's about to be seen, all right, upon the Lord's elect. Okay.
Strong's H5127. Noose.
All right. And it says to flee, escape. All right, to flee, escape, to take flight, depart, disappear, to fly, to attack on horseback, to drive at, to take flight, to put to flight. All right, to drive hastily, to cause, to disappear, hide. So there's going to be miracles, standard, power, protection, deliverance. All right, on the hopeful elect by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Okay, so ain't gonna be nothing this devil can do. And plus, all this demonization this devil is coming with, it ain't gonna stick. It's not gonna stick to the Lord's elect, man. Okay, this is Isaiah 54:17. It says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. And that means any type of weapon, a gun, all right, whatever type of instruments used to be put to death, nuclear missiles, man. All right, that's not going to prosper against the Lord's elect, man, because the Lord going to deliver them from all of it, and including this devil's, media, okay? That's a form of a weapon as well, man, okay? It's not going to prosper against the Lord's elect. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. So though this devil going to demonize us, ultimately the Lord going to justify us, man. Okay, because all we're doing is walking in truth, man. All right, and the Lord, remember, the Lord said when he round us up, the Lord going to put it in our spirit what to say, man. We ain't gonna have to write things down. We got something written down. We gonna say to this devil when we get delivered up between, unto kings and governors, wicked elite. We ain't gonna have a piece of paper or something written down on our hand. We gonna read off. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say to you all this time. No, the Lord gonna put his spirit on us what to say, man. We gonna condemn this devil, man. Condemn our enemies. And it says, this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. So that's it. I pray and hope this is edifying through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All the carnalites is going to get caught up in this judgment and this demonization. The judgment of the Lord on the left-hand side. But as for the Lord's elect, hey, the Lord going to justify and the Lord going to deliver his elect, man. So Lord will just edify through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. With that I say shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect.